Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 0. That is what I'm talking about. That is the type of performance that I've been waiting for a long time. Look, going into the game, let's start with the lineup. I thought we had a strong lineup, and I know we were missing key players like Gallagher wasn't there. Of course, Wolf got the red card last game. But if you look at the lineup, I genuinely thought that we could go to win this game because Norwich, as we saw it, they weren't that great. You know, their lineup wasn't great. And when they were on the pitch, I think this season so far, all the starting 11 hasn't scored for them since the start of the season. So I was expecting us to go win a 2-0, but 3-0 was the icing on the cake. But if you're talking about the first half, we were pretty much in control. And in all honesty, I was bored come second half over that game. I was like, let it end, because it was way too easy. It didn't feel like a Premier League game. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Newcastle were in the religation zone, but against top sides, they're still competing. Norwich, it just felt like a walk in a park. And I no due respect, I think Norwich fans were even saying it themselves after the game. They were saying that you're not fit to wear the shirt, and I was just extremely surprised. And when they're looking at some of the goals that we scored as well in the first half, we kept possession, we controlled the game. JP on the score sheet, who would have thought, he's finally back. And that was not an easy finish as well. That was very well taken from Jon Philippe Mateta. And then you had Odsonne-Edouard scoring the penalty as well from the 6th minute. And I think that early goal that we did score pretty much set everything in tone. If we didn't score that goal, then maybe it could have been a bit more tight. But Norwich's form and the way that they've been playing, that especially in the last game against Arsenal, after that early goal, it pretty much set them in doubts, and we pushed on from there onwards, which was key. Because if you remember, after the Southampton game, I was very pissed off over the fact that after our first goal, we just sat back and allowed the opposition to get into the game. And in this game, we didn't do that. In the first half, scoring 3 goals, I can't remember the last time that we've done that under Vieira. It must be the first time that we've done that. Scoring 3 goals, Jeffrey Schlupp on the score sheet as well. All the goals, even the penalty itself was very well taken, which was good to see as well, that we were clinical in front of goal with key players missing out, as I've said. And in the second half, maybe Norwich got back into it and, you know, they created some more chances. And even in the first half, Vicente had that little, you know, crossing to the box and he dropped the ball and Joe Ward just cleared it out. But in all honesty, I was never worried. I was never worried throughout that game. And for players, it must have not been easy to be concentrated as much. But now talking about players, I want to start with one player. And you might think he is the he's the blonde Iniesta of Crystal Palace. And that is Will Hughes. We absolutely robbed Watford. The fact that we got this guy for less than £50 million is just ridiculous. I'm going to say on record, he is the future Palace captain. There's no denying that he is. And I'm not just saying it based on this game. He controlled the midfield in this game. He sets the tempo. He lets everything. He basically dictates how we want to play. If we need to play fast, he'll give it that fast ball. If he should slow it down, he will slow it down. And that's the midfielder that we need in this side. And we talked about Macca's replacement. Will Hughes is showing it. But the thing about Will Hughes, for me, that stands out the most, that I've noticed when he has started, is he is a leader. And you see it in games. We see it in live games. I don't know if you watch on TV, if you see it, but he goes and talks to players. He doesn't matter if he's only been started like 5 games or so. He acts like he's been at the club all season long and he started every single game. Last game against Tottenham, he goes and talks to Tyreek Mitchell, clear it out. In this game, he's talking to other players, clear it out. He is a leader and he's going to be the future captain of the side if he continues playing like this and controls the midfield. Honestly, he is being one of the best signings of the season so far. For us, if you're considering the fact that he hasn't had any preseason, the fact that he hasn't, he didn't have that many minutes at Watford. He's been a key signing for us. He's up there with the likes of Gallagher and Mark Guay. Maybe not the best, but he's definitely up there. And his performance today was absolutely brilliant. Talking about another player's performance today that was absolutely brilliant, Jordan Ayew. And I've tweeted this as well, and some people got at me, but Jordan Ayew, when he goes to the AFCONs, he's going to be a bigger miss than Wilfried Zaha based on his form. Look, Jordan Ayew, he has struggled to score goals. Yeah, we all know that. But apart from that, on the ball, you cannot take the ball off him easily. He is ridiculously filthy. Just dribbling past players, even tracking back and all of that. With Jordan Ayew, it was always a case of not what he can do on the ball, what he can do in front of goal. And, you know, over the last 6 games or so, you might be saying, oh, well, Wilf is clear of Jordan Ayew. But over the last 6 games or so since the Leeds game, Jordan Ayew has been one of our best players. And after this game coming out of it, I know we're facing Norwich side, but if you're looking at the recent form as a whole, I'm worried. I'm worried that he's going to the AFCONs, and that goes down to credit to Jordan Ayew himself, because I've criticized him. Credit to Patrick Vieira, because Jordan Ayew spoke about the influence that he's had on him. And, you know, Jordan Ayew has been just absolutely brilliant for us. But apart from that, JP, front of goal, that was good to see. But I don't really see him starting that many games, in all honesty. But yeah, I liked how active he was, trying to get to balls. He had a header in the second half as well that nearly went in. But he was decent in front of goal. But Odsonne Edouard. If you're talking about, I talked about Wilf there, but let's talk about Odsonne Edouard playing in Wilf's position. In a West Ham game, you cannot drop Odsonne Edouard. Maybe you put him up front, but even that, I'm not too sure. But he was controlling out wide. And this isn't the only good game that he's had out wide. I've talked about it before. I want to see more centrally, but he can do a good job out there. Today, he got the goal. He got an assist as well. And, you know, if you're talking about recent form, if you're talking about who plays the next game, I think Odsonne Edouard starts. The question is, does he play out front or does he play out wide? If he plays out wide, I wouldn't be too disappointed. I mean, look, we want to see this in a squad in terms of that we're not one-man team. We showed that today. We not only did we miss Wilf, we missed Conor Gallagher as well. We've showed that. But if we're talking about, you know, other players coming in and playing as a team, then Odsonne Edouard can't be dropped for Wilf, even though Wilf might be the better player, which is you know, debatable based on his recent form, anyways. But he was outstanding there, and I think Cheku Kouyaté done a good job in midfield, screening the front three as well. Overall, as I said, you know, Mitchell. Overall, it was a comfortable game, comfortable victory, and the thing that stood out for me the most was Will Hughes and also Jordan Ayew. Because let me know in the comment section down below. I really am worried that he's going, and who would have thought that I would be saying that out of all people about Jordan Ayew. But I can admit it. When a player plays good, I can hold my hands up high and just say, you know what, he's back and he's playing good. And that's Jordan Ayew right now. So no disrespect to Jordan Ayew, he's back and I'm happy for him. But what a win! What a win! Now West Ham, it's going to be a real test. But with, you know, Conor Gallagher being out in this game, which apparently wasn't due to COVID reasons, he should be fit for that game, which is going to be a plus. Then you got the likes of Wilf coming in, whether he starts or not, that's debatable. Honestly, I don't think he's guaranteed to start. There's a big question mark there. We've got enough players, and hopefully we'll have Vieira back as well to go and get a result. I think that's going to be important. This game pushes up, after beating Norwich, it pushes us up the table to 9th. With games in hand, I get it, but you know, we've still got a chance of trying to finish top half, trying to look up rather than down, and this game pretty much solidified that. But overall, very, very happy with the result. Let me know what you guys thought. That was my reaction. Check out the match reaction show, which was live. You can go watch it back, and also the player ratings, which should be coming out shortly. But that's it for me today, and until next time, up the Palace.